Straight ahead on 12 News, preparing for one final sermon. Meet the longtime Plymouth pastor who's now planning a different journey. Plus,
there's probably something free pretty much every day.
How to find family activities that don't bust your budget. But first, the perfect weather combination that led to plenty of frustration for the commute. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. We didn't get a lot of snow overnight, but it didn't take much to cause some big-time problems on the roads.
That's right. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, there were 115 crashes in the metro before 10:30 Wednesday morning. A number of those accidents were in Brooklyn Park. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how all the crashes are taking a toll at local auto body shops.
Wet, icy roads caused delays and damage. According to traffic reports, it took 2 hours to travel between Rogers and Brooklyn Center. For motorists who didn't slow down, some of them ended up on the side of the road.
A lot of these cars are going to the body shops, and we're seeing a lot of work.
Sergey Kay is the owner of Advanced Collision Repair in Maple Grove.
This car went off the road, hit a pole or something.
Advanced Collision hasn't seen any cars that were damaged in this morning's commute, but they are getting phone calls.
Vehicles that are severely damaged could take a while to end up at auto body repair shops because those vehicles are first towed to impound lots.
Repairing a fender bender or something much worse is not only time consuming, but it can be costly too.
Something like this, we're probably looking about $6,500 to $7,000. Parts are very expensive for some of these newer vehicles.
And if you drive an expensive ride like this 2013 Lexus, you're going to pay a pretty penny to fix it.
Somebody went off the road, hit a pole, you're probably looking about $12,000 to $13,000. Parts alone is probably going to be about $8,000 to $9,000.
If you don't want your car to end up in the shop, you're going to want to slow down and pay attention while driving this winter. In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
According to the State Patrol, 14 people were hurt in the morning accidents in the metro area.
Twin Cities nurses, including those at North Memorial Hospital, have approved a new 3-year contract. It calls for a 2% raise in each year of the contract, which takes effect on June 1st. The new deal affects 7,000 nurses at 5 of 6 metro area hospital systems. It does not include about 5,000 Allina nurses, which have yet to begin negotiations with hospital management. Drug and alcohol abuse is an ongoing struggle facing teenagers.
But there has been an increase in deaths over the past few years in Hennepin County due to heroin addiction. As Delane Cleveland reports, law enforcement officials are trying to reach out directly to parents and teens to reverse that trend.
Heroin overdose and prescription drug abuse is the great non-discriminator, right?
Tuesday night in Maple Grove, law enforcement officials met with parents and teenagers for a town hall meeting on drug abuse prevention.
This is about, providing an opportunity for you to be able to ask those questions, get the information that you need.
Specifically, Hennepin County Sheriff Rich Stanek and Maple Grove Police Chief Eric Werner wanted to educate everyone about heroin abuse.
In regards to heroin, over the last 6 years, we had approximately 29 individuals overdose, and out of those 29 overdoses, there were 10 deaths.
That's just in Maple Grove. Countywide, it's a growing problem that stems from an addiction to opiates found in prescription painkillers.
Every time you take heroin, you take a ride like none other. And every single one is unpredictable in terms of what the outcome is going to be.
Due to the unpredictable nature of heroin, or any other drug for that matter, this panel of experts wanted to reach out to parents about teen drug prevention.
We're a suburban area, and so I think there's a lot of stigma still attached to mental health and substance abuse. So people isolate, they keep secret. They don't let their family and friends know what they're dealing with because they're ashamed.
Krista Breno is a licensed therapist with the Osseo Area School District. She says drugs aren't prevalent in the schools, but she is concerned about the acceptance of drug use.
Meaning that marijuana, alcohol, and now even pills, very accepted. It's not until kids get into harder drugs where a friend might say, oh my gosh, what are you doing? We got to do something. And we need to change that social norm back to, no, marijuana, alcohol is as dangerous, if not more.
Changing that social norm will require parents to have tough talks with their kids.
If we can get them on board and help us, it would really support all the other efforts that we're doing throughout the year.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Tuesday's town hall meeting was part of a new collaboration between the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office and area school districts. If you want to schedule a similar town hall meeting with your church or school district, we have the information on our website, 12.tv. In Crystal, changes are coming to the Crystal Shopping Center. A new 5,000 square foot building is planned for the north end of the Target parking lot. The owner of the property says he's working on prospective tenants. City documents say a drive-through coffee shop is possible, as well as a quick service restaurant. Construction will begin this spring. He stood at the pulpit of Mount Olivet Lutheran Church in Plymouth for more than 2 decades.
And on Sunday, Pastor John Stroman will give his final sermon. Emily Ragoose sat down with him as he prepares for a new calling.
It's all about listening to God, following our callings.
Faith is a journey.
Helping Mount Olivet look more outwardly to the community and how to be more engaged.
And for 23 years, Pastor John Stroman has been preaching that message at Mount Olivet in Plymouth.
To be here, exist for the sake of the world, not to maintain ourselves.
And I think he's gotten to a point in his life and his career where he was hearing some callings.
This Sunday will be Pastor John's final sermon. He says the church is thriving and his work here is done.
Because I was restless inside, which told me that God has other things in mind for me moving forward.
He really knew what I needed and how to listen to me and how to give me hope.
His members say he's no ordinary pastor.
I had more than a couple times where I just went into Pastor John's office and I just said, I should be in a better place, but I'm not.
When Michelle Jarvie lost her husband in a car crash, she was lost in her grief. 4 years ago, Pastor John and the church helped pull her back into the light.
I love it here.
Now happily married and a new mom, she's celebrated with the church too. And while Pastor John has been there for his members, they've been along on his journey.
There's the family a few years ago.
From babies born to young men leaving for college.
It feels strange because when I came here, we didn't even have kids yet. That puts a perspective on.
And it will feel strange to his members that he won't be leading services anymore.
John encourages questions. I'll miss that, just that whole willingness to entertain life's tough questions.
Pastor John says he's a little nervous about giving his last sermon.
Just the pain of saying goodbye. That's hard to do.
I know that he's going to make such a difference wherever he goes. I just still wish he wasn't leaving.
Emily Ragoose, 12 News.
Pastor John isn't sure where he'll land. It may include consulting and teaching other churches about the success at Mount Olivet. Big sermon on Sunday. We wish him the best.
Yes, sounds like he will be missed.
Exactly. Coming up, fun family activities that don't have to bust the budget.
That's next in Money Savers. Then later in sports, Park Center and Champlin Park play close games in girls and boys basketball.
But first, a return to average temperatures. There's also another chance for a coating of snow late Thursday. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is prime movie viewing season, and if you've been to a movie lately, you won't be shocked to learn the cost of a movie ticket has gone up. In fact, the average movie ticket price has reached an all-time high. The average ticket cost is $8.70 right now. That is up about 40 cents over a year ago. Ticket prices continue to inch up due to demand for extra large screens and premium seating options. Last year, box office revenue reached a record high. If you take your family to a concert or a museum, you could end up spending over $100 just on admission.
But finding family-friendly activities doesn't have to bust your budget. We share a few tips on finding low-cost or free weekend events today in our Money Savers special, Budget Busters.
You get to get really up close with birds. You don't get to see birds that close very often.
If you look closely at nature, you can always spot something new.
It's important to have a connection to nature.
On Saturday at the Eastman Nature Center, you can see how scientists ban birds and collect data from them.
It helps people know if birds are moving their range because of climate change. So it's being used for a lot of really important data like that.
It's proof that you don't have to spend a lot of cash for that weekend family activity.
You can come out to our trails anytime and it's free. We're happy to show you a trail that's good to go and hike on, We do programs that are free fairly consistently.
And there's the scary bear.
Seeking out free activities offered at nature centers like this one.
What is that?
Is the job of Gianna Kordatsky. She is one of the authors behind Family Fun Twin Cities, a website that posts free or low-cost family activities.
There's so much in the Twin Cities, but it's hard to find it. So we have created a one-stop shop for you to come and check it all out.
For example, free family movies are offered every Saturday morning at the Mall of America. Popular museums also offer discount or free admission days once a month. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
There's probably something free pretty much every day.
So if you look closely, you'll likely be able to spot something new that's free.
We hope we see you come out here at the Nature Center. We're always excited to have people come out, and even if you're not going to come to our program, just walk our trails, or even despite the cold, it's still really nice outside.
Just bundle up. The bird banding activity is Saturday from 9 to noon. Besides watching and catching and banding those birds, people over the age of 12 can release them too. So it looks like a lot of fun out there.
Great idea, yep.
Still ahead, how the planets are aligning.
That's right. Coming up in sports, we'll hear from Darren Lamker, who's resigning as Osseo's football coach after winning a state title. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Changes ahead for Osseo football, and we should say big changes.
Yeah, kind of a surprise about the head coach.
I was a little caught off guard, yeah, but a new look for Darren Lamker and then for Osseo football, too, in the coming year. After winning a state championship this fall, Darren Lamker has resigned as Osseo's head football coach. Lamker coached the Orioles for 11 seasons, compiling a record of 74-39. His Orioles teams won 3 conference titles and made 2 state tournament appearances. Lamker has accepted an offer to run the offense as an assistant head coach to Reed Boltman at Edina.
First of all, Osseo is awesome. It's been great to me for 11 years. I love it here and love all the people here. And it's a sad day, too. It's a family thing. You know, it's best for my family and my daughters and my wife and everything. And it'll be a better fit for them when I'm coaching in a different district. A 3-school district is a tough road to hoe sometimes. It really has been, and I've enjoyed it, but there's some battles that aren't friendly sometimes. I think we've accomplished a lot. I think the program's in fantastic shape. I mean, there's an unbelievable amount of players coming back next year. Freshmen were conference champs, JV conference champs, so this program is set to go, and I can feel good about that. And I like the new challenge out at Edina, and Reed Boltman's a good family friend of mine, coached me at Augsburg.
So that changes things. Lamker will continue to teach at Osseo High School for now, with the possibility of taking a job in the Edina schools at a later date. Champlin Park's boys basketball team played in the state Class 4A title game last season, while Park Center was in the final in 2013. The 2 Brooklyn Park-based teams met up Tuesday night at Park Center. Champlin Park's in white. Theo John swings it to Aaron Klepner, and he knocks down a 3 to give the Rebels a 9-6 lead. In transition, McKinley Wright gets it to John, back out to Klepner. He'll get into the lane, and his shot drops in. Champlin Park jumps out to a 9-point lead. Park Center battles back. Xavier Bonner out to Lucini Kamara at the top of the key. He hits. He scores 24. The Pirates go up 18-17. Eric Racine draws 2 defenders, sets up Derek Ogechi for another 3. He scores 15 points in the game. It's back and forth in the first half. Osiris Washington gets the steal, an easy hoop for Park Center under the basket. Champlin Park comes right back with an answer, though, as Brian Smith buries a 3-pointer. Champlin Park leads by 5 at the half, and they go on to win 68-62. In the girls' game between those schools, the Pirates work the ball inside. Aja Michael for 2 early points. Park Center takes the lead on Champlin Park. The Rebels rally with 7 straight points to take the lead, including this 3 from Bree Foss. Park Center hits 3 threes of their own in the first half. Osseo Bombadilli's hoop puts the Pirates up by 8. Hannah Krimble scored 6 points in the final 2 minutes of the first half to close the gap for Champlin Park. Pirates lead the Rebels by 4 at halftime. Danielle Schaub scores 9 points for Park Center. That basket put the Pirates ahead by 4. Backups Champlin Park. Krimble scores inside to reach 1,000 points for her career. That hoop puts Champlin Park ahead. Krimble finishes the night with 18 points. Megan Whitty is fouled with 6 seconds left in the game, and the senior for Champlin Park hits 2 free throws to win the game for the Rebels. They break a 3-game losing streak with a 44-42 win over Park Center. The Maranatha Christian Academy girls basketball team is a power in Class A. They played another very strong MCAA team as they faced unbeaten Lester Prairie Holy Trinity. Second half action in this one. Maranatha's Kylie Post gets back on D and gets the steal, and she'll get it to Elena Jarnett, who shovels it to her sister Jacqueline for the layup. Mustangs lead at 53-47. Jacqueline Jarnett finds Elena cutting to the hoop on the inbound play for 2 of her 35 points. The Mustangs hold the lead. Lester Prairie keeps battling. Carlia Kylo misses a free throw, but steps up to pressure the ball and gets a steal and hoop. And they take a lead on Maranatha 69-68. Kylo feeling confident. She'll dribble through the pressure defense here and then pops a step back 3 for a 76-74 lead. She scores 17 points. Tied late in the game, Jacqueline Jarnett hits 2 big free throws, and Maranatha pulls on a big 86-82 win.
I just had to stay really focused and have confidence in myself and my teammates, and it worked out.
And a big win for them over an unbeaten team, a 3rd-ranked team in Class A is Maranatha.
All right, thanks a lot, John.
Coming up, a spectacle in outer space.
There's a parade of planets that you can see, and it isn't just a one-time thing. We'll be right back.
And finally, you can witness a spectacle in the sky, but here's the catch. You have to be willing to get up early.
That's right, early to rise here. 5 planets plus the moon will be visible to the naked eye, all in a line, if you look to the southeast on a clear morning before sunrise. It is the first time that this has happened since 2005, and the coordinator at the Jackson Middle School Observatory says think of it as a great ballet happening up in space.
Often people forget about what's going on above our heads. It's like a big clock spinning. And so imagine 5 hands on a clock instead of just 2. Right now, all 5 of those hands spin at different rates. Mercury takes 3 months to go around the sun, Venus 7, Mars 24, Jupiter takes 14 years. So all of a sudden, all those hands are sort of onto one side of the clock, and you go, that's weird. That doesn't happen all the time. So that's what we're looking at right now in the sky.
Tell he's a teacher. Good explanation there. And on a clear morning, all 5 planets should be visible right now until about mid-February. But the moon will join the cast of characters in the lineup on January 27th through the first week in February. So get up early and enjoy the sight.
Get your cup of coffee.
That's right.
Listen to some classical music. Watch the ballet.
Sounds
there
like
you
a
go.
wonderful morning, right?
Might work. I don't know. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.